Hi, my amazing planner people. It's Jess from My Magical Planner, and I have quite the haul for you today, although it's not my usual type of haul. None of this involves stickers. I have decided to dive into another realm of stationery. I've always kind of wanted to get my feet wet there, and I decided it was time. So this all has to do with fountain pens. So I have some specialty papers, some special pens that I've ordered, as well as some unique inks, and we'll be testing out various aspects of those as we go along. But what really happened here, why I have so much, is I had made this special order from Goulet Pens. I spent a little extra to get the express shipping because once I decide I want to do something, I want to do it. And then it kind of got lost in transit with the post office for a couple of days. And in that time period, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to order just a secondary pen and some ink from Amazon just to start playing around with until my other package gets here. And everything showed up today. So that's what we ended up with. Anyhow, I'm going to set this one off to the side. We're going to open this last because this is the package I'm most excited about, and so best for last. And we're going to do the products I got from Amazon first. So the first thing I learned when I was kind of looking at diving into this is that it's more than just buying a pen, right? It's a pen, ink, paper combo. So the way your pen is going to write and perform and the way the ink is going to perform is going to be different depending on the paper. So what I did is I ordered 3 different brands of fountain pen paper. So I have the Romeo here. This is an Asian, and I did order all 3 of these off of Amazon. So this is an Asian paper, and it's thicker than Tomi River paper, and it has a little bit more of a sheen to it. I'm not an expert on papers. I just know that this one is different. So I have that one. Then I have this one, which is called Life. This is a company that appears to do, and granted, again, I'm not a paper expert, but they have things like typewriter paper, and you can get these books in different sizes and stuff. And I kind of wanted to play around with the idea of a journal. So that's going to come out more in my health stuff, but this is the one that appealed to me most. I like the A5 size, so all 3 of them are the A5 size. And so these are 100 sheets, and you can get them dot grid, you can get them grid, you can get them lined. I decided to go with the grid. I tend to like that a lot right now, so I figured I'd give that a shot. And it's supposed to, I believe, lay flat. So we'll see how flat it lays. Maybe not there. But as we go through it, hopefully it'll lay fairly flat. But that's that one. And then the other one I have here is Clairefontaine paper. This is another journal. I want to say this is also about 100 pages. And there is another brand called Rode or something like that. So they are actually both by the same parent company. And if you get the 90-pound paper, it is the same as this, and this is cheaper. So that's what I went with. The other one I may end up getting eventually, but I figured this would be a good start to see if I like it. And when we swatch some of the inks I have in here, I'm going to try and swatch them on the different types of paper, including my Hobonichi cousin, which has the Tomi River paper. So I can kind of see how they all react. I'm going to do that at the end. But this one is a lined notebook. And the paper, you'll notice that the paper color is actually different. This is more of a cream color here, and this is more of a true white. I think this one was also cream. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to like better. Obviously, different inks are going to look different on different backgrounds. So, and And I want to say all three, well, these two were between $10 and $15. This one was more at around $20. I like the binding, honestly, on this one. Maybe a little bit better because I do like the spiral binding aspect, but I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the paper. The coating is going to allow it to dry slower, so you're going to get more sheening and color transformation type stuff. So those are the 3 notebooks I got. Just looking at them from a, what did I get aspect. The only thing that I will say is the Clairefontaine. The cover has a little bit of a lip to it. It's not as nicely cut as the other ones. And I'm not sure how well any of them, this one in the middle laid flat, but I don't know how, it seems like it's going to do okay with the type of binding it is, because you can see that it's kind of sewn into almost 4 little books into one. So I think that's going to be interesting. This one definitely has a nicer cover. You have the spiral, which would account for some of that extra cost. And this is, it's a really thick, almost cardboard, I think, there. And this is a thinner cardstock, I would say. And then this is an even thinner cardstock than these ones. It does have foiling on the top here, which is interesting. I wonder if we say the different weights of the paper, because I don't remember that off the top of my head. Not there. This one does say 96 sheets in here, by the way. And it is the 90 gram or 90 pound paper. I'm not sure if it's pounds or grams, but it's definitely a very silky paper. So those are my papers to try. So I can set those off to the side. And then we're going to go with this one. So this must be the pen, and this is probably the ink then. So I got a Pilot Metropolitan. These are roughly $20. Sometimes you can find them a little cheaper. This one, I want to say I paid $18, and I got it off of Amazon because it was cheaper than it would have been to order it elsewhere. Prices are going up on things, and I think this was stock that just happened to still be there, so it's still at a previous price point. So it comes in a really nice little box. I did get the purple one, so MR collection use and care guide here. Tells you all about your different things with your pen. So this is a pen where you can either use a cartridge like this, and I believe the Pilot ones are different than a universal one, so I would need to get Pilots, or there's probably some conversion stuff that can go on there. And then this is the pen. It definitely has some weight to it. And I loved the little design here. They make these in a lot of different colors. It's a full metal pen. Although I think this very tip part here might be plastic. You can't interchange the nibs. They're kind of universal. That's the size it is. I got a fine because it is a Japanese pen, and so it will be a little bit finer than a European pen, which is the other pen that I have is European. So that is pen number 1. Just kind of giving you guys an overview here. And then we'll talk in more detail in a few minutes. So that is my Pilot Metropolitan in purple. And then on for ink, right? So This is a glistening ink, and I really wanted a green ink because of the time of year. It just felt appropriate. I just went and saw Wicked, and so plus in my Hobonichi cousin, I wanted a green ink to kind of go with the setup I have for this month. So I got a bottle of Colorverse fountain pen ink, and this one is called Brain, B-R-A-N-E, and I don't know, you can probably scan that code for details if you guys want to, and it says to cut there. So this company is very interesting to me in that you can go on their webpage, and the colors, you can get like the color code or whatever from there. And so if you were working in like Photoshop or something, like you can see the color and stuff like that. And they have the weight and like all these other really cool scientific things. So inside here, and this is a 30 milliliter bottle. It was, I want to say it was $15, which isn't bad. And you can kind of see a little bit of that shimmer that's in there. And like I said, we'll test these in a few minutes. And then you get this little card. So they have some other really fun inks that if I like this, I would like to order. Like the cat has this really, like the names I really like. So we have Cat and Ham. I'm not going to try and pronounce these ones because I'll probably mess them up. But I think these were all released at the same time. And then we have like little stickers for all the different colors. And they're just really fun. It kind of has a space theme. They have these ones like nebulas and different aspects like that. And I think they're a really fun ink. So as long as they write really well, I could see myself buying a couple of these different colors. So that's everything from Amazon. Now for my big exciting package. So like I said, this is from Goulet Pens, and I just kind of went a little bit crazy because I've been wanting to order a pen for quite some time and decided, you know, it's time. I'm going to reward myself with one, and like I said, I got a nicer one because I don't know. We'll get into it when we look at the pen itself. Okay, so it's very nicely packaged in here. Lots of bubble wrap. I like bubble wrap. So we have that. We have whatever this is. We have these things, and that's everything. Okay, cool. So the first thing I see here is this part. This is part of my order. So scan QR code to learn more. Connect with us. This is kind of their fountain, because they are a fountain pen exclusive type shop, and they're, oh, look at this. Sorry, I got distracted, but I love the sticker. Look at how beautiful that is. With the cherry blossoms, perfect. Anyhow, setting that aside. So this is just kind of telling you some general things about fountain pens, which I think is really nice, and has their mission here to provide fountain pen enthusiasts with the most personal online shopping experience through comprehensive education, exemplary service, and products we believe in. Love that. And then this item goes to the fountain pen I ordered. So I think this is inks, because I ordered a bunch of ink samples, because you can do that with their shop, which I think is really nice. So that's really fun. There's a Tootsie Pop. So this is my pen, which means this is something else, which I'm going to open first. And that is my order. Okay. So, since I was ordering quite a few ink samples, I wanted a safe location to house them. And they have a sample stand to hold them in. And I went, you know what? That is worth $18 for me to make sure that my inks don't fall over and stain everything else. So I ordered their sample stand, which is just a really cute acrylic stand. Has their logo on the end. I don't know how well you guys can read that with the clearness of it, but has their logo there, which I think is really nice. I don't know if a test tube rack would be similar, but I would guess so looking at it. But that was my splurge purchase there. Well, I guess it's all kind of a splurge purchase. And then this is the pen I decided on. I got a Twisbi. And the reason I got a Twisbi is because for my first pen, look at how pretty that is. So there's little foam here on top. Go ahead and take this out. There's some foam around the case inside here to keep it all safe. But I wanted a Twisbi because I wanted a pen that was going to be easy for me to fill. And looking at the different mechanisms, this one made sense to me. Also, look at the color. This is my absolute favorite color. So I did spend more and get a slightly more expensive form of the Twisbi. You can get a cheaper one. I forget the name of it. But, hold on, it probably says on my thing which one this one is. But the cheaper one is $35. This one was $65 because I wanted the color. So they are made in Taiwan. So the pen itself is made in Taiwan. However, the nib is a German nib. So it is German sizing as far as that goes, which is kind of a nice, I'm really loving the box. Everybody says it's very Apple-esque, and they're right. I also think it's just very modern and almost, it makes me think Snow White, you know, just in the glass case. But, you know, that's just me. So as far as which Twisbi this is, let me look it up so I can tell you correctly. I think this is just a generic. Because I was so focused on the color, I'm not sure that I can tell you the exact pen here. Oh, here we go. Twisbi Diamond 580 ALR fountain pen in Prussian blue. Limited edition extra fine. I decided to go with the extra fine because I tend to like to write really small and I get frustrated with these ones. And it's a 0.5 because I feel like they're so big. Because I'm always trying to write such small things into my planner and such. So that's why I went with the extra small. So let's cut some tape and take this puppy out. If I can remember where I just set my, there's my knife. So we're just going to slit it down the side here. Now, like I said, I am totally new to fountain pens. I've only had, I think I had a Platinum Preppy last year, and then I tossed it, not realizing I could refill it because what was I thinking? But, you know, I did really like it. So you have these little acrylic things on top. And then there's the pen. I love this teal color. Has the word Twisbi here on it and has the logo on the top. Very nice, secure little clip there, it looks like. And then it twists, the cap twists off like this. You can, I believe, put it on the back here. It feels pretty secure. It has a good weight with it on the back, or without it on the back. I think it'll feel fine too. So I think that, oops, that's twisting my piston. Huh. I'll have to remember that. Don't do that. But I feel like I'm probably going to end up doing what they call posting, which is slipping this on the back, but has a very nice feel to it. Obviously it'll have a little bit more weight once I have ink in there. And to load that in, I kind of reference the piston. What you would do is you would put the tip into your ink well or whatever, and you twist this part down, and this has a piston inside here. And so you twist that down, and you twist it all the way down. I'm not going to right this minute. And then after you have it fully extended, all you do to fill up the compartment is twist it the other way. And it'll provide suction and pull your ink right in there for you. Now, the other pen that I bought, the Metropolitan, has a different filling mechanism here. So, like I said, you can use the cartridge. And if you don't want to use the cartridge, and it's nice that it comes with this part, inside here, there is what's called a squeeze filler, I believe. So essentially, and it's much, much smaller than this one, but essentially what you do is you put this inside of your ink, and then you just squeeze this and compress it, kind of like you're compressing a balloon, and letting go causes that suction and it pulls it back in. So I did get a fine on the Metropolitan as far as nib size, and an extra fine in my Twisbi. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference in sizing there is, because I'm kind of interested in that aspect. I know I want that smaller size either way. I may eventually, for specialty things, want to do a larger nib, but for starter, I think I want to start out small because I tend to write small. Now, along with that, I'm going to put both of them here because I feel like I didn't fully go through the Pilot. So they both come in instruction stuff. And then the Pilot, I think you just have these two things in the nice little, this is kind of a plastic case with some metal on the outside here. So just kind of standard. It looks really pretty in there. I kind of prefer the Twisbi case a little bit to it, but neither one is bad. I mean, obviously you're paying more for this case. Along with the Twisbi, because the Twisbi is a fully you can definitely fully take the Twisbi apart. You can change different things if something goes wrong. I believe you can replace it, which is really nice if you're that type of person. Where the Pilot is a little bit more disposable in the aspect of if the nib gets damaged, you can't just replace the nib, at least not without some thinking. Like, you can buy a different pen, I believe, and get the nib off of that one or something, but you can't just order the nib and replace it if you damage it. You need to get a new pen, where the Twisbi you can. It even comes, if I can figure out how to open it, but underneath here you have a special wrench for taking your Twisbi apart for cleaning or whatever, and there is also some lubricant, like grease, in here. I don't, because like I said, I'm new, I don't know what that is for exactly, so I need to do a little bit more research, read my materials and stuff to find that out. But those are my two fountain pens. I originally was only going to have one, but because I'm impatient, I now have two, and honestly, I'm not sad about it. I think it'll be fun to compare the two and see what one I enjoy writing with more. And then along with that, I got this. So I have two different sample packs in here. And I think it's really fun that you can get these. So there are my two sample packs. And then this one may be a random, I'm not sure. But there's another ink that's in its own little baggie. I'm not sure why. And then there should be oh, there's the pen flush. I ordered something called a pen flush. I don't quite know what to do with it, but you could order a sample, and I figured, hey, we're going to do that. So I have that. I think it's for cleaning. So I'm going to put that in my pen tray right now. And then, oh, you can kind of see how well that fits in there, by the way. That's nice. So the two sample packs, oh, This kind of goes with the sample bags. Before I get into those, let me explain this. So this is a specialty straw that I can hook onto my Twisbi. So when I go to fill it out, fill it from one of these little packets here, one of the problems that people have had with the Twisbi is that because of, let me pull back out to show you. Because of the way that the rings and stuff go here, when you try to get it down into that sample like little vial, sometimes there's some issues getting it inside there. So I thought I would just circumvent that by ordering this. And this essentially, you can kind of see here, I'm not going to put it on right this minute, but what you do is you take off the end component, like this end part here, and you screw this on instead, and it acts like a really long, essentially, straw, and you can use that to get all of the ink in there without having to worry about whether or not your pen fits. It also works for, say, different bottles that may be harder to get in and out of because different bottle shapes are, you know, easier or harder and such, and you want to use all of that valuable ink in there. So I got one of these to try out. I want to say this was like $7 maybe. And then each one of these was about $12. Let me see. One of them is just a complete random, like they pick and randomly send me samples. And the other one, the Shimmering Bestsellers is what it's called. And then the other one was just random ones that I have them send me, like a 12, or it's 8? Maybe 8. 8. So one of them is the shimmers and one of them is not. So I'm not sure which one is which. It's not labeled that way. But what I have here is Lami's Blue Black. I've heard this is very nice. So we will swatch these in a few minutes. I have Demi Purple Pizzazz. This looks like a nice purple ink. I have heard that the purple can sometimes be more problematic as far as staining goes. We have Robert Oyster's MB. This looks like a green shimmer. Oh, that's pretty. I wonder how that will compare to this one. This one seems a little bit more like muted almost, which is probably more me, but this one looks more like a Kelly green. We'll see how they swatch out. And then we have, oh, this one feels really full. This is Ferris Wheel Press, Stroke of Midnight. Now, Ferris Wheel Press is another ink that I really wanted to look into, so I'm excited to have that. I think that's one of the shimmers. This one is, I'm probably going to say this wrong. Jack's Harbin, Emerald of Shiver, 1670. This looks like it might be a perfect match color-wise for my pen. That might be my starter color. We'll see. And this one is Robert Oyster's Rose Gold Antiqua. This is another color I've heard really amazing things about. And you can kind of see the shimmer on it. There are so many colors that I'm like, oh. So the thing I love about the aspect of having a fountain pen is being able to do some of these really unique colors. So this is Demi. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. I have dyslexia, so sometimes like I'll say it right one time and then I'll mess it up the next time. So I'm sorry about that. But this one is called Shimmering Seas. And that is just such a fun name. And I can see a little bit of the shimmer in there. It's kind of like this purpley blue, it looks like. So fun. Okay, so you have those. And then we have this one, which is Noodler's Purple, which is very purple. I'm going to have to organize these by colors for swatching. And then we have all of these. I think these might be my shimmers, but I could be wrong. So we have Demi's Gold Sands. Ooh, look at how pretty that is. I'm excited for that. And we have, let's see, what's this one called? Flamingo Pink. What about you? That is very pink. Interesting. Then we have Private Reserves Chocolate. I'm assuming that's a brown ink. I've heard those can be really fun. Then we have Demi's Night Sky. I'm going to guess that that's black with some other colors in it. I think I see a little bit of a shimmer in there. This one is Noodler's Polar Brown. And sorry, there wasn't much to say about Polar Brown. It's brown. It looks like it might have some red tones to it, but it's hard to tell through the plastic. This one is called Violet Clouds. And this one looks like it might have some interesting, maybe it's a color change component to it. I'm not sure. I can see some variations in the color in there. And that looks really pretty. Definitely lots of purples. Winter Spice. It's interesting that a couple of these are really, really full, like to the point where I'm like, are they going to overflow when I open them? But I can't tell what color Winter Spice is, other than it's dark. And then last one here is Chocolate Brown. Demi's Chocolate Brown. Did I already have a chocolate brown? Private Reserves Chocolate. But was there another? I'll have to look. So those are all of the ink samples that I got. So it's quite the assortment here. I can smell dinner almost done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go check on dinner. And after dinner, I can sit up here and do the swatches for you guys. And we'll see what we think of all these different beautiful colors. I think I'm going to swatch them and then I'll decide what two colors I'm going to load into the pens. Alright guys, I'm back from dinner so I can go ahead and swatch everything out. What I did is I went through each book and I wrote out all the different names of all the different inks using just a Sharpie gel pen because like I said, these are my new endeavor, so I don't have one inked up or anything to use, and I don't have like a glass pen or anything like that as of right now. So I went ahead and labeled all of them. Did write a little fast, so not the best handwriting ever. That is one thing that I'm hoping to change with all this. So I just picked an older page in my Hobonichi Cousin that I could just, play with. And then I went through and each one of the new notebooks, I went ahead and labeled everything. I'm not planning on doing huge swatches because a lot of these are samples, so I don't have tons of them. And yeah, let's just kind of get into this. So I think I'll start with this Flamingo Pink. And I'll be honest, it scares me a little. I'm not a pink person. So I did just pick out this is a paintbrush that came with a paint by numbers. I don't tend to use the brushes that come with those, so I figured it would be a good use of it. So I was kind of hoping I can leave that over there. And maybe I could just use what was in here to give my swatch. Let's see. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I'm going to need to go in there as well. But there's the start of it in my Hobonichi. Let's just get a little bit on here and see how it looks over here. A little bit more red on the off-white paper. So I'm not really seeing a huge difference between these two. Oops. Well, I got that. I probably should not have it directly onto there. Oh. Things I need to learn. So just kind of a small swatch. And then I have a little bit of water here so I can dip that in and clean it off. Kind of gives me a rough idea of the color. I will say I'm not as opposed to it as I thought I would be. However, probably won't use it on this off-colored paper. Because like this is very cream, this is very white, and the Hobonichi paper is a little bit in between. I don't really like it on the off-white paper. But that's just me. Next we have this blue-black color. I don't know if I should be waiting to do that last. I'm gonna kind of see how my water fares. Let me just change out the water. I have just a paper towel here. I figure I'll just try and get all the ink off of that brush. See how well that goes. Maybe harder than I thought. We may end up using Q-tips because those might be easier. Because I really just want to know what the color looks like, but I also don't want to have any bleed over from a different color. So yeah, this is taking a little bit more effort than I had thought it would. Definitely not a paint. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go get some Q-tips and we'll do Q-tips. Be right back, guys. Well, I really wanted that to work, but I think this is going to be my better bet for right now. Until I have like a glass pen or something. And then I don't have to also worry about, you know, is something going to work or not. I am going to bring over a little bit of plastic to put them on, so I'm not going to mess up other things on my desk though. So this is the Lammy Blue Black. Looks very purple actually, almost in there. So we're just going to be very careful here. And we'll do, oh, very blue. So do a swatch over here. Actually, I think this will work very nicely for doing the swatches. Let me put the lid back on, because I'm just afraid I'm going to spill it. And that would be very sad. So we'll do one here. And then one on this paper as well. And I'll be able to better show you all the colors next to each other once I'm done. Set that over there. Next we have Noodler's Purple. I think the blue black actually looks nicer on the cream colored paper. We'll see if that's what I think when we're all said and done. Oh, that's a really pretty purple. I think this is going to look nice on every paper. That's just my guess. Okay. It's hard for me to show you all the different ones I'm doing right now just because I have them spread across the desk. Maybe if I go up a little bit here, I can try and show you all of them. But because these two I can't overlay, maybe if I do it this way. There we go. Gives you a little bit better, I think. Try and get these a little closer together, maybe. Like that, and this kind of shows you a little bit closer. Okay, next we have the Purple Pizzazz, which is this one. I did wonder if pizzazz meant it had some kind of sparkle or something to it. Not really sure. So I do know from the other ones that just dipping in it really quick gives me more than enough. So let's see. Oh, this is a deeper purple. Now I think I like this one. This is more me as far as colors go than the one above it, although I do feel like the other one has its place as well. But that is quite pretty. Okay, and then we have Envy, which is a green color. Probably got a little bit much on there. Most of these come with, I think, a minimum of 2 milliliters of pen ink. Oh, that's very, very bright. I don't know how I feel about that one. I do not see myself as using that very much. It makes me think very Emerald City and not necessarily in a good way. But like I said, I tend to go a little bit more deeper hues. So that's Envy. Now we have, so there's 3 different brown sets I sent me, and I'm curious to see what I think of them, to be honest, because like I can see it both ways, where either I'm really gonna like them or I'm really gonna hate them. And that's the beauty of having the sample scent is, well, I didn't think of brown when I was looking at different colors. So I don't know. I mean, it kind of has that sepia almost to it. So there is that aspect of it that I like. But I don't know. This is a very deep brown. And then, so that was Private Reserve's chocolate. And this is Demi's chocolate brown. Sorry. Just so I don't get those confused since the names are so similar. I should have grabbed more Q-tips. Not a big deal. So, screw our lid back on here. And let's see what the difference is. Oh, this one's a little lighter, I think. There's not a huge amount of difference between the two. So that's interesting. Okay, let's look at our next one here. Noodler's Polar Brown. What is a polar brown? It's like, I mean, it's going to be really deep, maybe? I'm not really sure. So let's see. So, no, I wouldn't say it's deep. It's the lightest of the 3. So what makes it a polar brown? I mean, you can definitely see a color change here on this paper, less so on this one. Envy has some color change properties to it. It looks like, and it looks like it almost has a shimmer to it too. That may be a redeeming quality for me. Okay, and now we have the shimmer colors. So I did separate them out. So this is the Golden Sands, which is supposed to be very, well, golden. So very yellow is what I remember seeing. So let's see. So the one thing I'm not sure, I may need to get more. This seems to, where the other ones really flowed off the Q-tip, this one's a little bit harder. So let me get a little bit more. There seems to be some red hues to it. So this one, that may be one that is a little bit easier to see in like a writing type situation. Because I think with the strands of paper going back and forth, I'm not sure if that's good. Because I think the rubbing there. But you can see it getting darker across all of those. And I did not grab enough Q-tips. I will be back again. So let's see what our next one. I'm not really seeing the shimmer element in that one, and I don't know if it's because of how I'm swatching these. It might be because I'm not sure how else to do it at this stage. Maybe if I had like a pipette or something. So this one is called, it's Night Sky. So it should have some shimmer to attribute to the night sky, I think. So that one's interesting. This one is Shimmering Seas, which sounded, you know what? I forgot to shake up those other ones. And looking at this one, I can see stuff settling there in the tip. So I wonder if it was my fault that we don't see very much shimmer. I will say that I'm least interested in the black because if I want a black pen, there's like a million black preloaded pens. I'm more interested in the unique inks because I think that's what makes fountain pens fun. Is it just me? It might just be me. Okay, so this one, Shimmering Seas, which should have some like kind of coppery, it looked like, color to it. I mean, I know I can see it on the Q-tip itself, so hopefully it comes out in these swatches too. I do like the sparkle to it, that's for sure. Okay, Shimmering Seas. Now we have Winter Spice. So when I pulled out Winter Spice, I thought it was super full, but it looks like it's just a really thick color, and as it's settled, it's less. I don't know what color Winter Spice will be though. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the shimmer in this one. Yeah, I've seen some of these swatched. Oh, it's a brown. Yeah, I would say that my Q-tip method of swatching is probably not the best if you want to see what the colors have to offer, but it's the best option I have at the moment that I can think of. So this is the color that I'm actually most interested in seeing right now because I think it's going to match my pen perfectly, and if so, this will probably be the first ink that I load into there. So this is the, oh wait, am I out of order? Hold on. Okay, I did Winter Spice. So I need Ferris wheel. Where's the Ferris wheel one? Did I grab the wrong one? Yes. So this is the Ferris wheel one, which is Stroke of Midnight. So it should be another blue one. That I need to shake up because I can see the shimmer at the bottom. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to shake an ink because I'm guessing I don't want bubbles either, and so I want to, I don't know, I've heard that you need to like twirl your pen some, so we'll see. Okay, let's just get a little bit on here, a little bit more than that though. There we go. Okay, so let's see, Stroke of Midnight. Ooh, I like this color. It's a very deep tone, but very blue. Oh, this could be a contender for my first ink. Look at how pretty that is and how sparkly. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. Way down here. Okay, now the one I was talking about that I think might perfectly match the color of the pen. I will say I'm definitely more interested in the shimmer inks than I am the other, just because they are so unusual. I mean, they're not something I can just go and get any other pen, right? Wait. Yes. Oh, I like that a lot. But actually, I might like the one before it a little better. I don't know. This is going to be tough. But that is very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, we'll see how it looks when it dries. Then we have the rose gold one. Now this one was intriguing as well. And I've seen it swatched out and I was just like, oh my gosh, that is like rose gold ink. That is just cool. So this may be a color that I want to get a whole bottle of. Like a lot of these are, oh, I think that's a cool whatever, and I just want to try a little bit of it. But this is a color that I was just like, I think I might want a bottle of it, but I want to try it first. I think it's a little bit hard to get the shimmer off of the components of the ink here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but look at how shimmery just the Q-tip is. So I think it's a really, oh my gosh, look at it on this color. Yeah, I'm probably going to need a whole bottle of that because that's really amazing. Okay, this one is a purple. And I was thinking if I like it, maybe this is the color I put in the purple pen. But this is Violet Clouds, and I probably shouldn't be shaking it the way I was. I'm sure that's not good for it because I can see little bubbles. But let's take a look here. So, oh, it's very light, at least with that initial swatch down. I feel like I need a little bit more. Yeah, that's an interesting color. These would be kind of fun to like almost paint with. Very different feel though. Okay, and the last one we're going to swatch is this whole bottle that I had gotten. Because, yeah. So, for the price of the bottle, I got I think it was about equivalent to having the 12 samples. 12 samples? 8 samples? I don't know why I keep on thinking 12. It's 8. And I do love the ink bottles. My grandmother used to collect perfume bottles. And I always thought they were beautiful, and I love the idea of the perfume bottle, but I hate perfume. So I think this might be I might start collecting ink bottles instead. Because there are some really amazing ones out there. Okay. So, just kind of stick her in there. So let's see. Oh, this is definitely more my type of green. So many beautiful colors to pick from. Oh, I got a lot on there. Let's put a little bit more over here. Okay. Put the lid back on that one. So, granted, you're not going to be able to see as much from these swatches as you would somebody who had swatched a large portion or anything like that, but it does kind of give you a little bit of an idea of the different colors and the different types of paper. So I'm going to give you some close-ups here. So this is that, what it say? This was the Japanese paper, the Romeo, which I really liked the way that this glided on. I like the midnight a lot on this paper, as well as the shimmering sea. I think those are really nice. The browns, I'm not sure how I feel about those. I'm going to have to write with them and see. I'm not big on this green envy on here, and definitely not the flamingo. I think that's hideous on this type of paper. But that's my personal opinion, not anybody else's. I think the rose gold looks good on all the papers. And the golden sands it surprises me how much it changes. I'm not big on the night sky one either. I mean, it's black ink is what I'm thinking, but I do love the shimmers. So there's not a huge difference, I think, between these two papers. I might have a slight preference to this one, but overall I think they're pretty close. I mean, I'm not seeing much difference in the colors themselves, and I like the binding on this one a little better, but I liked the way that I don't know, I just like the way this one feels a little bit better. So there's that. And then you have the Tomoe River paper, which brings out some colors you don't see on the other papers, which is interesting to me, especially with this violet clouds. I think that would be a color I would love to use in this particular setup, because I don't see those colors being represented on the other papers, which I find interesting. I'm looking at the other colors going. The other thing that I'm noticing is the envy shows up a little bit more color variant on here. I think that's just a product of it being a white paper, but I could be wrong. The browns, I think I like the white paper over a cream paper is what I'm seeing, but that's fine. The yellows actually I think might look better on the cream, but there's not a huge difference. I think the Bane is definitely showing up a lot more on here, and the rose gold looks more pink on this one. But otherwise, I think overall they kind of stay the same. Oh, there's a little bit of blue to this one. That's what I'm seeing with the winter spice. That's why it gets darker there. Interesting. Okay, now I have to pick inks for my pens, right? So the one thing that they recommend you do is kind of flush your pen first. I'm trying to decide if I'm too impatient. Because there can be like little bits or whatever stuck in here and all of that. So do I want to flush it, or do I just want to go for it? I think I might just go for it, guys. Is that bad? I'm so excited to use them. Okay, so we're going to load the Metropolitan first. And I'm thinking about what I have to write in the coming weeks and stuff. And I think like part of me is going, you should load a purple in here, and I like this one the best. But do I want to use that one, or do I want to start with, maybe we do the pizzazz one. Let's do that. So that's this one. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And so I think where it sucks the ink in is here. So I need to get it down far enough for that. Okay. And I'm just tipping it to the side. And I'm going to push this out, made some bubbles, and hopefully it just sucked up some ink. So put the lid back on. I still have ink in here. Although what I am going to do is I'm going to take this little paper towel over here and I'm going to gently wipe it off just so I'm not making a huge mess, in theory. Like I said, in theory. And then I'm going to gently put it back together. Now, they say sometimes you have to hold, like, they have to be in a downward position for a while before they'll write, but that seems to be pretty immediate. Okay, so this was the pizzazz. So now that I have it in here, I can kind of do a couple lines here. I'll kind of fill in a little bit here. This is the fine nib. And granted, this is my first time writing with it, so I think I like it. I mean, it's definitely darker than my swatch was there. We'll see how that works. Gently wipe it off a little bit more. Seems every time I wipe it, it like just makes more, so I don't know. Yeah, so we're gonna say that one is fully loaded and ready to go. And then for the Twisbi. So here's the question: what color do we load in Twisbi? And I'm kind of thinking that we go for the brain. I think that's what you call it. I think that's going to be a good one. And for that, I don't feel like I need to attach the straw. So we're going to twist you down. I don't know if I want to do a full load in here. Maybe I'll do a half. Can I do that? I don't even know. I don't think I can. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to shake it up a little bit so that we make sure we get plenty of shimmer in there. I feel like I have a magic 8-ball here. But I think this is the color that I want to write with in here for my monthly. So I'm going to set that down so I don't mess it up. Actually, let's move this to the side. It looks so pretty in there. Okay, so now I'm going to, I think the feet is probably at the same spot, so I think I go into about there maybe, and then do a twist this way. Now I can see some coming up. I don't think I had it initially in far enough, but that's okay. Okay, so there is my green. Kind of wipe it off a little bit too. And I'm going to put my lid on. I do like these jars, seem very versatile with how big they are. Very sturdy. Okay, and so now here's my extra fine nib. I'll do a couple of those and maybe some of this to see how it does. So I'm going to draw a line just along here with the extra fine, and then I want to do the same actually. Oh, there's a lot of ink on that side. Should there be a lot of ink on that side? I don't know. I'm going to set it in here. I'm not sure if I should have cleaned that off more. And then I want to do a line right here. And I don't think there's a huge variation in the two color or line sizes. There's a little bit, but nothing huge. Maybe if I do a set of ABCs, let's see how that looks. So I'm going to do it with this one first, and we'll do and then let's do the same with the snip. So there's a little difference in the smoothness of writing with these. I would say the Pilot's a little bit more scratchy, but I think that's a personal thing. I think they're both really nice. I do definitely see some variation in the color with the green, which I'm happy about because that's exactly what I wanted for my fountain pen. I'm a little leery about some of these other colors. I think I'm going to be happier picking my own colors, just because I want a lot of that shimmer and shine. So I'm going to set both of those up there. So it's been a couple of days. I ended up getting sick, but I did want to include these new inks that I got. So I'm kind of playing around a lot with my new fountain pen. I'm really loving it. I don't want to ink this up again, so I do have some Q-tips to just kind of swatch these, and I went back in my Hobonichi pages to a page I just hadn't used because I was sick. So this one I ordered just off of Amazon. It's called Tar Heel by Colorverse, and they're the same people who made this glistening gel or glistening ink that I'm using currently that I'm really enjoying. So this one's more of a blue color. They have a lot of different colors, and I love the shapes of their bottles. They're just really fun. So let's see what Colorverse looks like here. If I remember right, it was either a shimmer or like color changing or something. How I may have needed to kind of mix it up. So hold on, we're gonna let that be for a minute, and because I didn't shake it at all, and I can't remember because it's been so long since I ordered it, if I just liked the color or if it had something else it did. So we'll just do a second little maybe squiggle next to it or something. Okay, so that's the first one. And these are pretty easy to find inks. Now these other ones, these are made by a company that's pretty small. So, and I did look around a bunch of different places trying to locate them. This next one is from a company called Fax Pen to Paper. I'll try and link them down below. So these are harder to find inks because it's from a smaller company, and each batch is a little bit different. They actually included it's such a small shop, they included this cute note. Thank you for supporting our small business. Moon River and Abalone are my favorite. Hope you enjoy. Now these are really cool inks. So, hold on. Let me get them all out. So I did buy 4 from this particular brand because I couldn't decide which ones I wanted most. This one's called Butterfly Dreams. And what's the name of this? It's made in the Philippines. Troublemaker Ink, that was the name of it. And like, I did a bunch of research because the thing I like about the fountain pens is the unique inks. So you can kind of see a little bit of it there. Now, this does feel like a plastic bottle opposed to these, which are glass. I do prefer the glass bottle, but I do know that this isn't going to break, and the same, so there is that, and it is a lighter bottle. It does hold a lot more than, say, this. Price-wise, it says it was $19. I can't honestly remember. So we're going to go with that. But this one, like I said, is Butterfly Dreams. Let's see if I can open it here. And it was, like, when I saw it, it was just so amazing. Let's see how it looks on here. So there's the green. It should get the purple too. I don't know if I need to do anything to get some of the purple. Or if it dries with it, because I'm still pretty new to some of these inks. So we're going to let that sit for a minute. And then, let's see, let's do this one next. Does it say on the outside? This one's Moon River, which I think is a pretty popular color. You can kind of start to see it now as it's drying, that there's a sparkle and a purpleness to it. I don't know if it comes across really well on camera, so I'll lift it up here in a second. So here's Moon River. You can't really see much on the bottle. I do like the little fish. This one had like a little, I don't know if that's supposed to be a cat or some other animal, but it's cute. So let me kind of lift this up a little bit and see if you guys can see the purple kind of shimmering through the green. It looks amazing. And you can really see the blue as well up there. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of shake it just a little bit, make sure, because I think all of these are either color changing or something. This one has more of a maroony color. Maybe if I can get the top off. Oh. I'm grateful the top is so tight, but hold on. There we go. So this is a very light color comparatively. So let's see how that dries. And you can already start to see it has like a pinkness to it. And then there's this one. This one says it was only 15, so it depends on the bottle maybe. Oh, I think the Butterfly Dreams was maybe a new release, plus it's that special shimmer. So this is abalone. This is a really, really popular color from this brand. I've heard lots of amazing things about this. So many people have said that this is their favorite ink. If I can open it. There we go. Oh, did I remember to shake it? I can't remember if I remember to shake it. Okay. It's a very pretty blue in the bottle. Oh, look at how pretty that is. And man, this looks amazing now that that's dried. Okay, and our last color is the Petrard. I think that's how you say it. Petrichor. Oh, I have to shake this one too. think these ones were just, they had some kind of color changing aspect to them. Because I can see the secondary colors coming out. I think that was the big thing with this one. Okay. So I'm going to give it a second to dry, but while that's happening, can you now see the purple shimmer here with this one? It looks so pretty. Oh, it came off a little on my finger, so it's not quite dry, but I did put it on there pretty thick. This one, it's more gray than I expected it to be. I expected more this, so maybe I didn't put a thick enough line on, I'm not sure, but you kind of have this grayish green color undertone and then the pink on top. And then this one is blue and it has just little hints of that pearlescent pink to it. And then this one has a little bit of a shimmer to it as well. You can really only see it here. So I've heard that, and I have a super fine tip on this, and I've heard that really with some of these more color changing inks, you need a bigger, at least a medium sized nib, so that might be something I'll invest in, but I like having the fine point, so we'll see. But anyhow, that does it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.